I love horror games, especially so-called indie horror games where the lore is more important than visuals. So I thought I would give this genre a try myself. I thought I needed a break from my main project. I do have other side projects, but I needed something much less complex and fun to work on. So after a few hours of crafting in Godot, I built this prototype. The game is set on a frozen reservoir and you are some sort of a night guard. You're on duty, skating around the area, making sure no one trespasses. It's a flood mitigation type reservoir, at least that's what you were told by the company that hired you. It's a no trespass zone. Basically it used to be an open pit mine in the past, but deposits had run out and they shut it down and they used the pit as a reservoir to prevent the flooding of a nearby town. So this place is still property of the mining corporation and they sealed it off to keep out trespassers who would come here to look for scrap metal and such. That's the official story at least.
But once you start patrolling the reservoir, you begin to notice things that don't really seem like they belong in a mining facility. It could be something creepy looking just underneath the ice, or maybe even sticking out over the surface. And because you're local from the nearby town, probably you start thinking back to some of the local legends about skinwalkers and ghouls and such, and you start connecting the dots, thinking that maybe this whole mining thing was just a cover-up for something sinister, perhaps. Maybe the mining corporation found something in the ground and it got out of control and they had to seal off the area and flood it to cover evidence, or maybe they were really working on some sort of a weapon, like biological weapon or genetic. Maybe they're experimenting with genetics. Maybe they worked on some sort of creatures and succeeded, and then those creatures got out.
I don't know yet myself, I'm really just making this up now. But I like the ice skating mechanic. It's inspired by a movie I saw the other day on Netflix called Black Crab. It's a Swedish dystopian thriller where a group of soldiers is on a mission to deliver something across a frozen fjord. And they're basically skating the whole movie. And I like the atmosphere. I thought it would be cool if there was a game like this. I'm using Alpha 6 for this. I can't say I've seen much improvement since Alpha 5, to be honest. The opposite. In fact, some of the existing bugs are manifesting themselves more prominently, like specular highlights when using a bright light against a bright specular material. The highlight turns yellow for some reason. And of course the navigation agent bug, which somehow escaped me before. I saw it now and I spent like hours trying to isolate it to no avail. All I could tell was that it's the navigation agent causing it. I couldn't find it on GitHub either because they're tracking it under Godot 3.5, not 4.0. 3.5 is kind of off my radar now. Anyway, it's a known issue. Basically what happens is your physics gradually consumes more and more time as the game runs, and effectively your FPS goes down to 0 and the game crashes after about 10 minutes of runtime. You can see it in this example. These are all character bodies with navigation agents wandering around on a navigation region. It starts off with 0.10 milliseconds for a physics frame and then it goes all the way up to 40 milliseconds within about 5 minutes. I never noticed this bug before because I never play my projects that long. I usually just play for a couple of minutes just to test something. Anyway, back to my horror game. I'm testing this one type of creature that lives under the surface of the ice. It's deaf and blind, but it responds to bright light. So if you flash your headlamp at it for too long, it will attack you. And when it's hungry, it will attack you almost immediately after noticing your headlight. Otherwise, it might attack in self-defense if you keep your light on it for too long. And then it heats up and starts chasing you. It wants to basically heat the ice under you, so it cracks and you fall in. That's how it hunts. And you can outskate it, or you can jump on something, turn the light off, and wait until it loses interest and crawls away. You can also use the red light on your headlamp. These creatures don't see red light, so you're safe. So that's my little horror game idea. It was built over a few hours, so it's pretty rough around the edges, but it's just so much fun working on something like this, you know? Let me know what you think about this concept and whether I should evolve it, and maybe you can give me some ideas. That'd be cool. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in another episode. Peace.